The crime crisis has gotten so bad that the courts are overwhelmed. And a result of that is going to be people who are not going to comply with their notice to appear or demand to appear.
Prosecutors in the state getting $10 million to try and round up fugitives. There are more than 5,400 of them wanted for serious felonies.
And tonight, Target 7 looks at whether this funding will make a dent in the warrant backlog. Here's John Cardinelli.
Fugitives avoiding justice has been a problem for decades, and recently the mayor, the DA, and the sheriff have said they've been addressing it.
Now the legislature and governor is involved, giving millions to solve the warrant problem. But we're learning that despite recent efforts, there's been very little impact on Bernalillo County's warrant backlog.
If you ask any law enforcement person in Albuquerque now, what is the number one thing we could do in the next month to reduce crime? It is get those warrants served.
That was more than 6 months ago. The mayor, the DA, and the U.S. Marshal holding a news conference saying they were going to address the county's warrant backlog, and they need more money to do it.
So we believe this is the number one way and the fastest way that we can make this city safer in months, not years.
At the time, there were 5,360 fugitives wanted on felony charges like murder, rape, and robbery. 6 months later, and efforts from law enforcement to address it, that number hasn't gone down. In fact, it's grown to 5,408 as of today.
I'm not surprised to see the numbers increase.
Darren White was responsible for serving warrants when he was sheriff 15 years ago. Back then, the numbers were the same.
The crime crisis has gotten so bad that the courts are overwhelmed. And a result of that is going to be people who are not going to comply with their notice to appear or demand to appear. And so they just go on the run.
Now the governor and legislature have kicked in $10 million to address the issue. They're giving the money to district attorneys across the state. Half of it will go to Bernalillo County District Attorney Sam Bregman. His office tells us he plans to use the money to reimburse law enforcement agencies who spend overtime money doing warrant roundups. But will it help?
Well, more money for the criminal justice system is important. But just as important is how you spend that money, what you put that money towards.
Chief Public Defender Bennett Bauer told us that some of the money could be spent on something called safe surrender for people accused of nonviolent crimes. Basically, people who failed to appear in court would be notified there's a warrant, and they can turn themselves in instead of being hunted by law enforcement.
I don't want to pretend that that's going to get everybody, because it's not, but it's an extremely cost-effective way to get many people that are on warrants back into the system.
Bauer says there was not a single penny given to help public defenders represent people who are picked up. He says the courts are not receiving money either.
And if the courts, the public defender's office, and jails are not prepared to take the additional people coming through the system, that money is not going to be effectively spent.
Of the current active warrants, 43 of them are for murder. For Target 7, I'm John Cardinelli.
Did reach out to the mayor's office, and they got back to us with a statement writing, "We're grateful that the ball is rolling on this important effort that came out of our Metro Crime Initiative. We don't need any more reminders of how critical it is that dangerous criminals are taken off our streets and stay off. And we look forward to working with the district attorney's office and our partners to make our city safer."